Hi, thanks for watching Yogi Moksha with Vanessa and Andrew. If you enjoy our sequences, please consider subscribing and providing feedback. We enjoy hearing from those that share our passion for yoga. In our functional energetic sequence, we started to explore energetic movement through the body's subtle energy channels. We started to understand that this movement and harmonisation of energy is important for overall health. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is qi that moves through 12 main meridians. In Indian philosophy, it is prana, moving through nadis. In more recent research, the focus has been on myofascial meridians that loosely follow many of the Chinese medicine meridians. Myofascial meridians are bands that allow chemical and electrical energy to move through the body. These bands are part of the single connective tissue network that is present in every part of our body. It is these myofascial meridians that we work with in our practice and that we will work with in this sequence. Often, these meridians are worked in their yin-yang pairs, and this is how we will work with the meridians in this sequence. The sequence we will practice seeks to restore some balance, helping to ensure a healthy flow of qi throughout the body. By increasing our store of qi, increasing our perception of energy in the body, and hence our ability to follow and ultimately move that energy, and ensuring the energy channels, meridians, are free of blockages. So enjoy the practice. Namaste. In traditional Chinese medicine, the heart and small intestine meridians relate to blood circulation and mental functions. Disharmony in the heart and small intestine meridians can manifest as palpitations, pain, insomnia, night sweats, mental, ear, eye or stomach problems, as well as feelings of sadness, desperation or depression. The sequence we will practice will also help us develop a more positive mindset, opening the heart and energizing the system to respond to any physical manifestations of disharmony. So coming to a comfortable seated position, maybe sat on a block like I am, or just sat on the mat with your legs crossed. Trying to keep the back nice and straight. We're just going to start this 90-minute meridian focused practice with some natural breathing, just to bring our attention to a single point, ready for the more subtle sensations, the energetic sensations of the meridians. So bringing the eyes to a close, or if you prefer, just looking down at the mat and the floor, soft focus. Hands resting on the knees or clasped in front of you. Just allowing the breath to naturally come in and out through the nose. No particular rhythm, no pattern. Just allowing the air to move over the tip of the nose. Cooler air as we breathe in, warmer air as we breathe out. Belly rising and falling. Turning our senses inward. Consciously drawing our attention away from the external stimuli, internalizing senses, recalibrating, retuning for the next 90 minutes. Just pushing the sensitivity dial up a little bit so we can work with those subtle energies. Inhale and exhale. Just a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, just moving the block if you're using one. We're going to stay in a seated position, but we're going to come to César, or sitting on our heels, knees bent. Vanessa's going to demonstrate this with her back to the camera so that you can see the positioning of the hands. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our arms behind us. Our physical target area is going to be the outside of the arms. The small intestine meridian also runs up there. We're going to achieve this by taking the arms behind us, so either folding, as Vanessa is demonstrating at the moment, or, if we prefer, a reverse prayer. So whichever option you're comfortable with, just settling in, finding that first edge, first physical edge, relaxing the muscles in the outer arms and scapula, upper body, shoulder area. Finding some stillness. And then in that stillness, taking our attention down to the pinky, the little fingernail on the little finger of each hand. And as we inhale, drawing that energy up the back of the hand, bottom of the hand, up the outside of the arm, all the way coming up to the shoulder, internalizing, coming out again at the neck, up, around the side of the face, just finishing the side of the face here. And as we exhale, moving that energy all the way back down, side of the face, neck, through internal to the back shoulder, all the way back down the outside of the arm, edge of the hand, finishing at the fingernail of the little finger. Just a couple more times in your own time. Perhaps inhaling, drawing the energy up. And exhale, moving the energy back down. Inhale, energy up. Exhale, moving it back down. Just gently releasing the hands, either from the reverse prayer or just folded behind us. We're going to stay in this position with the lower body, and we're going to come forward, going to walk the hands forward. Knees really are just comfortable distance, doesn't matter whether they're closer or further apart. And we're going to walk the arms forward, but The meridian we're going to be working with here, we're switching to the heart meridian. So from the inside of the little fingers, coming up the inside of the bottom of the arm here, just coming up to the armpit. So just walking those arms forward. The precise position of the hands and the arms in front of us, whether they're straight or bent, isn't really going to matter too much. Doesn't matter what it looks like, so long as we're getting some sensation here up the inside, bottom of the inside of the arm. Some people prefer them straight forward, like Vanessa. I tend to prefer just having them a little bit further out like that. That works for me. So maybe explore and just pick an option that works for you today. Now again here, you could support your head on the block, or you could just allow the head to come towards the mat. So finding that physical first edge, relaxing the muscles in the glutes and through the back, the thoracolumbar, scapular, shoulder area, upper body, but particularly in the inside of the arms there. Relaxing, finding some stillness, and then in that stillness, we have the clarity or the clear space to take our attention down to the inside of the little fingers on each hand. And as we inhale, drawing that energy up the inside of the arm, up towards the armpit. And as we exhale, moving that energy all the way back down. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, moving down. Just continuing with that movement or visualization in your own time. In not being concerned if we don't get a strong or consistent sensation as we visualize or move the energy up and down that inner arm meridian, the heart meridian. Our experience is always going to change between practices, but generally over time, as we practice these meridians more, we're going to find that the sensations become more distinct. Our ability to perceive these sensations improves over time with practice. The amount of chi or prana that we have to move also increases. But also the actual meridian channels or bands themselves become clearer, less likely to be blocked, and therefore easier to move the energy around. So all three of these things over time provide us with a generally stronger experience. Inhaling and exhaling. Relaxed, smooth breathing. Choppy breath is a sign that maybe we need to back off physically a little bit. Always remembering that in yin generally, we don't want to be right on our physical limit. And certainly when we're working with meridians, we want to be a little bit further back so that we're not distracted by too much physical discomfort. And next inhale, just gently and slowly, always moving slowly after an extended period in the posture. We can feel quite fragile. And for our next posture, we're going to come into all fours, keeping the hips roughly above the knees. Coming forward onto the elbows. And this time, sometimes called melting heart. And this time, we're going to, as Vanessa's demonstrating, we're going to put the hands into a prayer or namaste position and take them behind the head. And as Vanessa's demonstrating there, if you want, you can try supporting the elbows there on a block or a bolster. Give you a different sensation, worth exploring to see if that's something that works for you. Or you can just do it on the mat. So again, we're not trying for a shoulder workout here, we're just trying to get that, stimulate that meridian we're working with. So starting to find our edge, physical edge. Consciously relaxing the muscles in the upper body across the scapular area and in the arms. As we relax, we might find things adjust, so open up a little bit, so maybe we need to adjust. Finding a point at which we're going to be comfortable for the next 3 minutes or so. Steady, natural breathing. Bringing the attention to the arms. As we inhale, drawing that energy up. Exhaling all the way back down. Exhaling all the way back down. And just continuing with that yourselves over the next minute or two. Taking the time as you move the energy or as you visualize the movement of the energy, taking the time to register and appreciate the sensations that arise. Perhaps noting the different sensations that arise in different parts of the body. Maybe even noting where you feel there is no sensation. And sometimes I'm asked, if there is no sensation, then is the energy actually moving? And the answer is yes. It's just that our perception of it is not particularly strong in that area.
Or maybe we have a blockage of some kind there, but there would certainly be a movement of energy through the whole meridian we're working with, even by just visualizing. And gently now, just walking back with the hands coming to a lying on our back for our first rebound. As I've suggested in some of the other sequences, when we're working with the upper body, quite important to take our rebounds fully reclined on our back so that we're not engaging anything in the upper body, and we can truly try and appreciate the sensations. So bringing our eyes to a close or a soft focus on the ceiling. Taking our attention to the area we've been working, so that upper body, shoulders coming down the outsides and insides of the arms. And just opening the mind to what, if any, sensations arise or move through the area. We've worked with both the heart and the small intestine meridian. So maybe if we can feel some sensations in our rebound, maybe those sensations are along the path of those meridians we've just been working. So along the inside or the outside, bottom of the arm. Maybe even extending up into the shoulder and the sides of the head. So just observe and determine where for you today those sensations are. On the next inhale, coming up to all fours again. So we're going to move to working with the small intestine meridian again, this time on the left hand side, the outside of the arm, shoulder to the head. We're going to do that by starting on all fours and then just feeding the left arm through. Feed that left arm through, and gently bringing the weight of the body onto the shoulder. So the physical target area is going to be very much the shoulder, scapular area, and the outside of this left arm. And we can, if we want to, we can continue supporting ourselves a little bit with the right arm here. Or if you prefer, you can take the right arm behind. Again, entirely up to you. Starting to find the edge. Relaxing the muscles in the upper body and shoulder. And then finding stillness. Calm, soft stillness. And in that stillness, we're going to take our attention to the fingernail of the little finger on the left hand. And as we inhale, we're going to draw that energy up from there, right up the side of the hand, outside of the arm, zigzagging up the outside of the arm to the shoulder, coming through the shoulder, coming back out at the neck, up the side of the head. And exhale, going back down the side of the head, neck, through to the shoulders, zigzagging down the upper arm, down the outside of the forearm, bottom of the hand, to the left hand, little fingernail. So a few more times for that in your own time. Noting the sensations, noting how they change. Noting any areas where those sensations may be stronger or weaker along that meridian pathway. Noting if those sensations change as the physical posture continues to open up. Using our full mindful attention, tracing the movement. Fingernail up the outside of the arm, shoulder, through to the neck, up the side of the face, and exhaling all the way back down, neck, shoulder, outside of the arm, all the way down the arm to the tip of the little finger. And just gently releasing that arm. We're just going to repeat now exactly the same to the other side. So supporting with the left hand, we're just going to feed that right arm through. Recognising that it may be different on this side to the other side, so making an assessment here whether we want to support ourselves with the left hand or whether we want to take the left arm behind as we did on the other side. Just finding that edge, that first physical point of resistance. When we get there, relaxing the muscles around the target area, around the upper arm and the scapula. As we relax, maybe the posture opens up a little bit. Edge moves out. If we want to, we can allow the body to sink a little bit more, carry a bit more weight in the shoulder. Again, nothing wrong in any of these postures where if we've decided on a particular posture but we want to take the edge off a little bit, we'll just bring that left hand back forward and take some of the weight out of the shoulder. We can adjust both ways. And we find stillness. Stillness in the body and the mind. Take that stillness down to the fingernail on the right little finger. As we inhale, drawing that energy up. The edge of the hand, the outside of the right arm, zigzagging up through the shoulder. Internalising, coming out of the neck, up the neck, side of the head. And as we exhale, all the way back down, side of the head, neck, through to the shoulder, zigzag down, the outside of the upper arm, the outside of the forearm, edge of the hand, to the nail on the small little finger on the right hand. Just continuing with that movement yourself, perhaps using the breath to coordinate, perhaps following some other rhythm that you prefer. It doesn't really matter how many times you move or visualize the movement of the energy. As long as when you do, that you're fully engaged in that movement, fully engaged in identifying or just noting the sensations and understanding how those sensations change through the path of the meridian band and how they change during the course of this posture. Inhaling and exhaling. Rise and fall. And just bringing that left hand forward, taking some of the weight off the right shoulder. Coming back to all fours before we go back round for another rebound. Lying back fully on our backs. Eyes closed or soft focus to the ceiling. Attention to the target area, the area we've just been working, so the outside of the arms. Just opening the mind and asking the question, what can we feel? What sensation can we feel? You can always feel something. There's always a sensation there. Just search for it, open the mind, remembering that it's subtle, more subtle than a physical response. Maybe just trace the path of the meridian we just worked from the little finger all up the outside of the arm, shoulder, neck, head. Maybe just trace that. See what you can sense. So, coming up, we're going to work now. The next meridian we're going to work with is the heart. We're going to go back inside, so just this meridian coming up the inside. And the way we're going to do that is by lying on our front. Extending the left hand or left arm out straight. And then simply rolling the body back towards that arm. So we can use our right hand here to help support us if we need to. We can bend that left knee up just to stop us falling back forwards. I've also seen people use a bolster here to help them stop falling forward, so whatever works for you. The other thing that some people might prefer to do is use a block to support the head. And here we just find our edge, physical edge. So the target area around the left upper arm, the inner arm, left arm. The right hand can stay here supporting us, or it can go behind. Relaxing the muscles. As we relax the muscles, maybe that shoulder area opens up a bit. If it does, and we want a little bit more depth, we can bring that right leg up, and the weight of that pulling backwards will just add a little bit more intensity to the posture. Just finding that point that fits with you today. And when we're there, just finding that stillness. Physical, mental stillness. And when we're there, taking our attention down to the inside of the left little finger. As we inhale next, drawing that energy up. Inside of the arm, all the way, the inside of the arm, all the way up to the armpit. And as we exhale, moving that energy all the way back down the inside of the arm. And the edge of the hand, inside of the finger, to the inside of the fingertip. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, move down. Just continuing with that practice on your own, another minute or two. Again, no rush to complete a certain number. Much more important to just move mindfully, aware of all the different sensations along the path of that meridian band. Noting as we work through these various postures, the perception of these subtle energies is becoming any easier for us. Particularly these two meridians, the heart meridian and the small intestine meridian, are both on the edge or at the base of the arm, so sometimes quite challenging to distinguish between them. And just bringing that right hand back, supporting, releasing the left arm. And just rolling, doing exactly the same on the other side. Extending the right arm straight out and rolling the body back, supporting the head if you want to. Finding a position for the left arm, either in front or behind. Maybe bending that right knee, picking that leg up. Finding that edge. Find that edge, consciously relaxing the muscles all around the shoulder, scapula, arm. If we find the posture opens up a little bit, then maybe we want to have a little bit more weight pulling us back, and we can use that bent left leg for that now. And then we find stillness, mental, physical stillness. A stillness of calm, but one that allows us to move in or out with the edge. Once we have that stillness, taking our attention down to the inside of the little finger on the right hand. And on the next inhale, just drawing that energy up, drawing that energy all the way up the inside of the arm to the armpit. Exhale, letting that energy fall or moving it all the way back down. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, moving down. Continuing with that movement for the next few moments. As that energy moves through that meridian, perhaps conscious that we can feel that flushing. It's a relatively short band. So with focus and an adequate supply of chi or prana, you can certainly sense an effective flushing of the meridian band there. Again, not being overly concerned if the sensation is weak or feels a little bit inconsistent. Just knowing that over time that will change. But in the meantime, we're getting the benefits from just visualizing that movement. And just gently, maybe using that left hand to just take some of the weight. Loosening the right arm. Just rolling over for another rebound. So again, straight onto the back. Fully reclined, arms and legs relaxed. Eyes closed or soft focus on the ceiling. attention to the target area, so the inside of the arms. Opening the mind. Just becoming aware of any sensations that might be running along the path of the meridian we've been working with. Anything in the inside of the arms. Or maybe for you, you're finding the energetic sensation is somewhere else. Maybe it's in the outside of the arms. Just making a note of that. There's no right or wrong. And the next inhale. So if you're still in a lying posture, just rolling over onto the front, we're going to use a posture that's sometimes called closed wing now. And there are two variations. Vanessa's going to demonstrate one with the alternate arms, and then I'll demonstrate the one with both arms at the same time. So the physical target area is going to be, again, the shoulder scapular area, but the outside of the arms, because again we're targeting the small intestine meridian. So the outside of the arm, zigzagging shoulder, neck, side of the face. So as Vanessa's going to demonstrate now, she's going to take her right arm through and under, and then literally just sort of roll forward onto that. Again, here she can choose whether or not she carries any weight in her left hand, or if she just literally is happy to roll right forward and take the weight of the body onto that right arm that's underneath her. For the other version, or what I'll practice now, same effect, but we're going to take the arms like this. So almost just crossing the arms, and then we're going to lie down on our front like that, swapping over, and Vanessa changes arms. So, starting with the right arm in front, and then if we want, I can just push forward a little bit with the feet, and allow the weight of the body to open up both of those arms, but the bulk of the sensation is going to be in the front arm, so the right arm. So whichever posture you're in, finding that physical edge, relaxing, maybe finding the posture opens up a little bit. If it does, just adjusting before we find some stillness. And then using that stillness, we take our attention down to the fingernail of the little finger on the right hand. As we inhale, we're going to draw that energy up the outside of the right arm, all the way up to the shoulder, zigzagging across the shoulder, internalising, emerging again at the neck, and up the right hand side of the face. Before we exhale and move that energy all the way back down the side of the face, through the shoulder, zigzag back down the outside of the arm, edge of the hand, back to the fingernail of the little finger on the right hand. And just continuing with that in your own time. moving that energy deliberately and slowly up and down. If you're doing the version with both arms that I'm demonstrating, then yes, you will also get some sensation in the left side, so the left hand, but our primary sensation will be in the right arm. But if as you move the energy, you want to try and move the energy in both arms at the same time, you could certainly try that. Maybe try that and compare the sensation to using the focus on one arm. Just another breath or two here. Getting ready to swap sides now. So Vanessa's just going to swap sides there, take the left arm through, sit on the side and then literally roll forward, taking the body weight onto that left arm. Maybe using see Vanessa's got the right arm above her there, which may take a little bit of the weight out, or may just be comfortable for her. And then for me, I'm going to do the same, but this time I'm going to have the left arm in front, crossing both arms as I did before. Maybe using the feet to just push me forward a little bit to get that weight over the front of the body there. And now whichever option you've chosen, in searching for that edge, that first point of resistance. Once we find it, just relaxing the muscles, so the muscles around the upper arms, the shoulders. As we relax the muscles, maybe we find things open up a little bit, so if we want to adjust or push a little bit more forward, or there's some Vanessa might roll a little bit more forward. And then we find some stillness. Again, targeting that soft stillness that allows us to respond to the need to move more deeply, or in fact to back off a little bit. And the stillness that gives us the clarity to take our attention down to the fingernail of the left little finger. And on the next inhale, we draw that energy up the outside of the arm, the bottom of the outside of the arm, all the way up the forearm, upper arm, zigzagging across the shoulder, internalizing, coming out of the neck, up the neck, side of the head. And as we exhale, moving the energy all the way back down, side of the head, neck, through to the shoulder, zigzag across the shoulder, down the outside of the left arm, upper arm, forearm, edge of the hand, back down to the little finger, little fingernail. Just taking the next few moments to continue with that movement or visualization of energetic movement through that meridian, through that small intestine meridian. And if you're practicing the posture that I'm demonstrating, if you want to, try the movement of the energy in both arms at the same time, then feel free to try that. But otherwise, just work with the primary arm, which is the arm in front. It's another one of these postures where, open wing, closed wing, you can really feel not just the physical opening up in the posture. Over time you can really begin to discern the opening up of the meridian pathway. You can almost feel it in real time. And from here, maybe just rolling over, ready for another rebound. So, flat on the back, arms relaxed, legs relaxed, eyes softly to a close or softly focused on the ceiling. Taking the attention to target area we've just worked, the outside of the arms, shoulders, even the neck. Just being aware of sensations that arise or pass through. Whether it's a high frequency vibration or a glow or warmth. Quite often I might sense a pulsation in this posture around the shoulder area. Maybe there's a gentle movement from there down the outside of the arms to the little finger. Maybe from there all the way back up to the head. Maybe using the pathway, maybe not. For our next posture, you can stay lying on the mat on your back. So we're going to use a twist. We're going to use a twist to target physical target area will be the obliques, but our primary interest is the inside of the arms because we want again to work with the heart meridian, so coming up the inside edge of the arm, just up to the armpit. So we're going to achieve that by just lying straight out. I'm going to bend the knees, bring the knees up. Here, if you want, you can add a little twist in terms of the legs. The right leg over the left. I'm going to tuck it behind the left leg. And we're going to allow right leg to come over towards the mat. So take both legs over. Right leg on top. Now the position of the hands straight out to the side. It doesn't have to be straight out. It can be a little bit angled, but just adjust so that we can feel a nice bit of stretch on the inside of the arm. And if we've allowed the legs to fall to the left-hand side, we might even want to turn the head. Just relaxing the posture, finding some stillness. Using the stillness to take our attention to the inside of the little finger. Then on the next inhale, drawing that energy up the inside of the arm, all the way up to the armpit. As we exhale, moving that energy all the way back down. Now again, you could experiment here with changing the position or the orientation of the head. Explore. Inhaling energy up. And exhale, moving that energy down. Just gently returning that legs to the middle, uncrossing the legs, getting ready for the other side. So we'll take the left leg over the right. This time we're going to let the legs drop towards the right hand side. Taking our arms out to the side. Allowing the legs to fall to the right hand side. And then just making a decision about the orientation of the head. You can always change it later in the practice. Finding that first edge. Relaxing the muscles. Adjusting if required. And then finding some stillness. Aware that we're going to be feeling some sensation in the obliques. But our primary interest is in the sensation in the inner arm. So finding that stillness. Using the stillness to take our attention to the inside of the little finger. Then on the next inhale, drawing that energy up the inside of the arm, all the way up to the armpit. As we exhale, moving that energy all the way back down. Inhaling energy up. And exhale, moving that energy down. Just continuing with that in your own time for the next couple of minutes. Taking the time to make sure that the movement is mindful. You're fully engaged with the energetic movement throughout the length of the meridian band. Noting the different sensations. Perhaps comparing how it feels on this side to the other side. Becoming more comfortable with the practice of trying to move the energy. Maybe one last time now, just starting the inside tip of the little finger. Inhaling, drawing that energy up. All the way up along the edge of the hand, inside of the forearm, inside of the upper arm. Up to the armpit. And then exhaling, moving that energy all the way back down. Forearm, edge of the hand, inside of the little finger. And now just gently releasing the legs and the arms. Settling in for another rebound. So taking our rebound, fully reclined on the mat. Eyes closed or soft focus on the ceiling. This time bringing our attention to the inside of the arms. Maybe contrasting the initial sensations with the last posture when we were focusing on the outside of the arms. And just in your mind trying to distinguish between that path in the arms, between the small intestine and the heart meridian. As they're very close along the bottom of the arm there. So just observe where those sensations are now. And you can remain lying because we're going to use a supported bridge posture. We're going to do this with the arms straight out, and as we're doing that, you probably guessed we'll be targeting the heart meridian coming up the inside of the arm, so edge of the hand up the inside of the arm. So you can either use a block, I think Vanessa's going to use a block for the support, or you could use a bolster. I'll use that to demonstrate the alternative. Yeah, I'm aware that my arms may well disappear off the camera shot, but you can use Vanessa's arms. So placing the block or the bolster under the middle of the back, that's a thoracic part of the back. Just lying back, finding our edge. And you can either just allow the head to fall back, as Vanessa is, or if you want to, you can support it on a block. I'll do that for now because I'll probably sound just a little bit less ridiculous on the microphone. And finding our physical edge. Relaxing. As we relax, maybe the posture opens up a little bit. As it does, we can take our arms out to the side. So again, it doesn't have to be straight out to the side. It could be at a little bit of an angle. Maybe just explore or play with that a little bit. The area we're targeting on both sides is here in the inner arm, so we want to find a position for the arms that optimises that sensation there. So where we can feel that heart meridian is really open for its full length. Finding stillness. As we find that stillness, we can take our attention to the inside tip of both little fingers. Drawing that energy up the inside of the finger, the edge of the hand, the inside of the forearm, inside of the upper arm, right up to the armpit. As we exhale, moving that energy all the way back down. Upper arm, forearm, edge of the hand, little fingertip. Inhale, drawing the energy up. Exhale, moving the energy down. Again, there's an opportunity here if you want to explore. You could try just turning the head maybe to the right hand side and see what that does to the sensation on the left in particular, but maybe also the right, but left in particular. Maybe try that with one cycle of the energetic movement. Inhaling up, exhaling back down. If you've supported the head, you might want to try removing that support and seeing what that does to the sensation. All the while continuing with the movement of the energy up and down the inside of those arms. very gently, just removing the block or bolster. Remaining lying on your back for our final posture, Shavasana. So arms and legs relaxed and a comfortable distance away from the torso. Palms can be facing up if you want, or more important that your arms are just relaxed rather than in a particular position. Closing the eyes or soft focusing on the ceiling. Bringing our attention, as we did at the beginning of this practice, back to the breath, back to a natural rhythm of breathing. Natural rhythm of breathing, drawing the air in through the nostrils, the air moving softly over the tip of the nose. And again, air moving softly out of the nostrils, tip of the nose as we exhale through the nose. Cooler air coming in, and warmer air leaving the body as we exhale. Drawing in fresh air and chi, and exhaling warm air. Now taking our single pointed attention now to the areas we've been working. Start with the inside of the little fingers, the heart meridian. I just want us to do a slow scan all the way up the inside of the little finger, edge of the hand, coming up the edge, the inside edge of the forearm, inside of the upper arm, right up to the armpit, and then scanning all the way back down. We get back down to the tip of the little fingers, just pausing for a moment and looking at that scan. How did it feel? What was there? Were there any sensations there? Maybe just a feeling of relaxation, or maybe still something a little more energetic. And then just letting that go. Turning over the fingers in our mind and bringing our attention to the little fingernail on the outside of the little finger. And again, just doing that scan all the way up the outside edge of the palm, the outside edge of the forearm, outside of the arm, up to the shoulders, zigzagging across there, coming through to the neck up to the side of the face, and scanning all the way back down, face, shoulder, outside of the arm, upper arm, forearm, down to the fingernails on the little fingers. And again, just pausing there, pausing to look at the results of that scan. What did we find? What did we feel?
Was it a residual energetic sensation? Or was it just a feeling of relief and relaxation? And then just putting that aside too. Coming back to the breathing. Next inhale, taking a nice deep inhale. And a nice deep exhale. One more time, deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Just returning some energy to our deep sense of relaxation. And then when you're comfortable, just maybe rolling over onto one side, coming up to a seated position, keeping the eyes closed if you can, or just looking down at the mat. Gently blinking open the eyes, maybe raising the head, and thanking yourself for completing that practice. Namaste.